EAA Chapter 166, Hartford, Connecticut, home of the Van's RV-12 build. And the construction area here at the Hartford Jet Center for the RV-12 has gotten bigger because the RV-12 has gotten bigger at the stage in a project where the wings need to be on the airplane. And pretty soon the RV-12 is going to be sitting on its own landing gear. And with a 27-foot wingspan, the tight work area gets even tighter. Time for another build update. And to do that, let's go find project lead Rick Montero.
It's been about probably 6 to 8 weeks since our last video. In that time, we've been working on completing the avionics, installation of the Garmin avionics system that we purchased. We've been working on installing the composite ends on the wings that hold the lighting systems. And we're now working on the flaperons, installation of the flaperon control rods. And so why don't we start with the avionics and give you an update there. So we've got our ignition module installed here, our switch and fuse module here in the center, our comm radio is installed there, and just above that we've installed the transponder. And so over there on top of the map box is the GA20 unit, which is a dedicated position source, and that's part of the ADS-B out unit. In the center here, or toward the just left of center, we have the GEA 24B unit, which is our engine monitoring system, which is mounted to the backside of the firewall. You can see we've got our backup battery installed here. That goes right behind the glass panel for the G3X touch screen. And then next to it we have the control module, which is where all the various wiring harnesses come together and then get distributed to the various units that they go to. So we've spent probably the last 3 weeks working on getting all of this installed and getting all the wiring harnesses routed. Well, Larry, what we've been working on over the last couple of build sessions that we've had are actually installing the flap handle for the flaperons and getting those connected up to the push rods. So the control sticks, they're in a locked position, neutral position at the moment, but you've got these connected to these push rods, and so as you go left and right, this center yoke will rotate and then either push or pull on these rods here. And the rods feed all the way into the back, and in the back they connect up to the actual flaperon torque tubes. And the team is currently working on drilling those, the two different torque tubes that fit together, so that they get them match drilled, bolted together, and once that's done, we're ready to put the wings back on the airframe and connect up those torque tubes to the flaperons. Larry, so something that we've also been working on is the installing the lighting and the wiring harnesses in the wings. So for the RV-12, I think it's well known that the wings are removable and they're designed to come on, be put on and come off fairly easily. So you can see the spars, they have these bushing holes, they just basically slide right into the fuselage, and then they get connected to the fuselage through these pins. But for the wiring harness, the Van's design incorporates these quick disconnect plugs. So all the wiring, or all the power, comes through these quick disconnect plugs to power the navigation, anti-collision lights, and the landing light. So as you slide the wing in, you just make sure that you've got it positioned correctly, and this plug will match and mate to a plug that's on the wing itself. So makes for a very nice, easy installation and removal for the wings. For installing the lighting, we actually had to finish up the wings by installing these end panels, so these wing caps. And we've done that within the last few weeks, along with this trailing edge triangular piece to cap off the wing ends. Once that was done, then we were able to install these composite pieces. They call them wing extensions. And their purpose is actually just to hold the nav lights. And all the wiring gets routed through all of the ribs from the other end. And then there's a connection to the nav lights here. Now we've got them ready to be permanently installed, these composite pieces. So what that involves is there are several rivet holes which these clecos are holding for us. And you also have to apply some tank sealant between the composite piece and the wing end cap to seal it. And then once you've got that, the fuel tank sealant between the two, you cleco it back together, and then you start riveting and finish it up by riveting. Now we have it masked with electrical tape, and that's part of the procedure as well, so that you get just a very nice fine bead extruding out from the composite piece. Okay, just a little bit more about these lights. They're pretty advanced in design. They're not only your nav light, the red and green, but they also perform the function of an anti-collision strobe, and they also have a rear-facing white light at the back edge of these lights, and that takes the place of your the light and the rotating beacon that typically you find on the back of the aircraft. They're also designed to be removable, so you probably notice there's a hole here. There's a set screw in there. All you do is you loosen that set screw. It allows you to push the light forward on its mount, and then it'll come off, and you can do any maintenance that you need to do on the light, or repair or replacement. So Larry, what are we going to be working on next? Now that we've got the flaperon controls connected, we're next going to be working on installing the cables for the rudder and the stabilator. And once that's done, then we're going to move on to getting this thing on wheels. So we're going to be installing the landing gear. So we've got a lot of work still ahead of us, and some pretty exciting things to accomplish. But once we have that done, it's going to really look like a real airplane, and all the controls will work. So we're really excited about this next phase that we're coming into.